everybody, Tom Marks, assistant editor here at PC Gamer with our global editor-in-chief, Tim Clark. How you doing, Tim?
Not too bad, Tom, thank you.
So BlizzCon is this Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
Coming right up. And we're here to tell you what we kind of think is coming, some of our predictions, maybe some wild cards, stuff like that. So let's go through Blizzard's games and just what do we think is coming. So which one's first?
I guess we should start with still probably their biggest game, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Down to 5.5 million subscribers we saw this week, but it's still just the 5.5 million subscribers.
Right.
The big thing is obviously more detail, I guess, on the Legion expansion.
Yeah, I think that's basically what we're going to see is just more about Legion. They announced it a while ago, and they've already said a good deal about what's going to be in it, but I think we're just going to get more concrete details on that and a deeper look, essentially.
On the first day of the event, they're going to have, which I'm actually really excited about, is the full trailer for the Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
There was a teaser earlier this week, kind of 15 seconds. We broke it down on the site. You can probably see a link somewhere here. Do you think there'll be any kind of attempt to bring stuff from the movie into the game? Like in terms of, are they going to try and nod to it at all? Or?
I doubt it. The movie is entirely, or almost
set
entirely,
really early, right?
It's the first game, yeah. So
it's vanilla.
Yeah, and I don't think that really. I think the two will be pretty separate. Yeah. Okay. So Starcraft 2, I think we're probably going to see the least of actually in all of their games because the new expansion is just come out and. We'll probably get some updates on what's next, how they're going to update it and that sort of thing, but I can't imagine they'd announce any sort of future expansions for that. I think they'll just pretty much be like, yeah, StarCraft 2 is doing its thing.
Would they talk any sort of like DLC plans or anything? It's just too early for that?
I just think it's too early. The expansion just came out. I don't think that they're going to really...
It's just about to.
Or excuse me, it's just about to come out. Yeah, I don't think they're going to want to do any future stuff past it if they're still ramping up for it.
Yeah, there'll be the big tournament. I think they've got some cool show matches on with some kind of great Starcraft pros of yesteryear playing each other, I believe.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Next on, how about Heroes of the Storm? So Heroes of the Storm, I think, is actually going to be one of their bigger announcements. There's, this and that rumors, but based on what they did last year, this year I think that we're going to see another event of that scale from a different Blizzard game. My prediction is actually StarCraft 2.
It's a new map?
I'm predicting at least an announcement of a StarCraft map and probably some more StarCraft characters. And this year they've released the Medic from StarCraft and Artanis from StarCraft just before BlizzCon. So I figure that's going to lead into more StarCraft content for Heroes of the Storm. Maybe it'll go the other way. Maybe they just released their StarCraft content and they'll go Warcraft or something on that level, but I think we'll probably see more StarCraft from Heroes.
That's interesting. My guess, which I think is almost certainly wrong now that you've said that and spoiled it for me, is that they would try and like sync up Overwatch. Overwatch is the big game for them next year, and maybe start bringing some Overwatch characters into Heroes, but perhaps it's too early for that. I'd like to see that though.
I think they'll definitely do that. They've hinted as much that they want to do that eventually, but I think it might just be a little too early right now. Not many people have the beta yet.
Much to their annoyance.
Much to their annoyance, yes. So next up we have Hearthstone. Hearthstone, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that they're probably going to announce whatever the next expansion is. They've been doing that every 4 months, has been the pattern so far.
Yeah, I think they've hinted pretty strongly. I'd be amazed if there wasn't anything new because I think the game's the way the game works, I think unless they have refreshes every, 3 months or so, then...
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 months, yeah.
Then the meta does kind of stagnate a little bit, although we've had the recent nerf before the World Championships. I'm certain, like last year was Goblins versus Gnomes, this year there will be a new... wait, was it BlackRock last year or was it Goblins versus Gnomes?
It was Goblins versus Gnomes last year that they announced, yeah.
But they're on schedule to announce an adventure.
Yeah, they are. It's been alternating, yeah.
I'd be curious to see if they stick with the policy of kind of following WoW raids and stuff. Maybe it's time to try something different.
Maybe, they've definitely showed with the Grand Tournament that they were willing to get out of that. They took its inspiration from a WoW raid and a WoW event, and then they made it Hearthstone's own thing. So they might go more in that direction. That would be interesting to see. And then finally, you mentioned it already, Overwatch. Overwatch, I think we're going to get a lot more concrete details on. I think we're going to see a look at maybe character progression and unlocks. I think if we don't get a payment model, I'd be shocked. I think people have been asking for that for a long time now.
I'd be surprised. I feel like the payment stuff is the kind of thing they leave like pretty late in the day, and for like something like BlizzCon, they just want people to be excited about kind of fun stuff. I don't think they. I would be surprised.
Maybe they'll announce it in one of the panels rather than on the big stage, because...
Do you think they'll talk in the panels at all about which characters potentially are already kind of like considered overpowered and stuff? Because when I've been playing the game, there's a ton of talk about, well, this character is definitely going to have to change, they're far too strong.
I don't know if they'd focus on balance. One of the entire Overwatch panels is actually all about story. They're going to be talking about how they're going to be unveiling the story, where it's going to be going, if they're going to be doing out-of-game events or whatever that is. I'm really curious about that.
Do you care about the story in Overwatch?
I think it's a great world. Yeah, I think it's really. I'm really excited to see what they do with it, basically.
Okay.
I think that we'll see some cool stuff from Overwatch.
I love the character design. I just don't think of it as a story, right? There's no like beginning, middle, and end.
It isn't.
Call me old-fashioned, Tom.
Yeah. Well, they've said that they want to keep the actual games completely devoid of story. So an actual match, you're not focusing on the world at all. You're not focusing on any of that sort of stuff. But outside of that, they do want to build it. When I was at Blizzard for a preview event right before the Overwatch beta came out, they were saying that they had a couple of years worth of plans for how they're going to evolve that world, and I'm really excited to see how they do that.
Maybe they'll announce they're expanding the beta, because there has been like, maybe it sounded earlier like I was trying to like laugh about people not getting in. I don't think it's funny. It's very frustrating not to get into stuff like that. I've not got into plenty of things. Do you think there's any chance they'll expand it and make an announcement to that effect?
I think they really want to keep it small. From what they've been saying so many times, I think they really want to start slow and use these big open beta weekends to get a lot of people in and then keep it small again, which is also why I don't think we're going to see anything about when it's going to come out of closed beta this year at BlizzCon, because it's just too early. I think they really want to go slow with Overwatch, which might bite them in the foot. It sort of did with Heroes. People started getting frustrated about how long it was in closed beta for.
Likewise, Hearthstone was in beta for forever, wasn't it, really, while they were ironing stuff out.
And it was something that not a lot of people were super excited about.
I mean, I spoke to a chap about Overwatch, and he was saying like that initial beta, they don't even really see it as a marketing thing. They want it just for feedback, so it's not like...
Yeah.
It's very early, I think, is the point.
It definitely is, but it'll be interesting to see. Well, we'll be at BlizzCon on the show floor making more videos and articles for you guys, which you can check out at PCGamer.com, and we'll see you then.
We'll be roomies, Tom, as well. You know that, right? I told you that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That's my sinister smile.